everyone. Just wanted to jump in real quick before we get started and say a quick thank you to all my patrons on Patreon. Thank you for supporting this class, and I look forward to creating new videos and new content with your support. So thank you very much. Your name should be appearing in this general area right now. Thanks.
You should share pictures.
Yeah, we should live stream it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So for anyone seeing the video starting here, Dante and I were talking about going to the Noise Museum in Berlin as a sort of as a field trip. I'm going to call it a field trip.
Cool.
Or we can call it a mandate if you want, Dante. I don't know what terminology you use. My wife will probably call it a mandate because she loves saying that even anytime I do things with friends. She's like, oh, enjoy your mandate. I will. So yeah, I guess that's a good thing to talk about on the video too, because if anybody else wants to go to museums, I could go to museums every day. I'll happily join you and talk about Egyptian art with you and stuff. So it sounds like a fun time to me. Sort of a busman's holiday, you could say. But I enjoy it. Anyway, okay, so I have the list of your names. Am I on the right page? I think I'm on the right page, so I can just share screen. Here. Okay, so there are 38 questions. 7 definitely doesn't divide into 38. 38 is 19 and 2. So yeah. Okay, so we'll just do 4s. I mean, it'll work out. Might need to be 5. Wait, 5 and 7 is 35. Yeah, maybe we'll do 5s. That actually comes a little closer to being a divisor. So I have first on my list, I want to shuffle you guys because I always pick the same guy first. And although I'm sure he loves the increased opportunity to answer questions, I'm gonna try to mix it up a little bit. How about Peter? I can see you on the screen, so I'll choose you.
I apologize. I'm still back on lesson 4, finishing. No, I did finish 4. I'm starting 5 now, so that's good.
This is probably a little bit past the level that you've reached, I would guess.
I would say so. Yeah. Okay, but I'm happy reading. I'm happy reading 1 sentence or 2 sentences. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's great.
We have an odd number, so it's going to work out. However.
Okay. Hey. Nak en nemsheje jik as en nekra, let's see, en nekkar puvshe, no, let's see, puvshe probably, and
Povesh or Posha, either way.
Poshe, okay, and hov Nim et let's see, en tati sevo.
Yeah, so this I'm gonna stop you. I don't like to stop you while you're reading, but this vowel combination is pronounced I. It's like if you say the 2 vowels I.
Okay. En tati sevo nak ero.
Good. Yeah. So this first word too, I was going to go back to it when you're done.
Yeah.
This one.
Yep, I'm going to need your help on all of it, I think.
Oh, for meaning, for sure. But what about the pronunciation? After I told you that thing about the 2 vowels.
Oh, let's see. So there'd be ice high.
Yeah.
That's a cool sounding word.
I just realized that it sounds like 2 English words, ice high.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. It sounds like a bad thing. It's like what kind of drug is described as having an ice high? I don't even want to know what you're getting into. It sounds not natural, whatever it is. But yeah, so ice high, which means high means to write.
Okay.
And then this is like the past tense marker, and then e is the suffix pronoun for the first person singular.
Okay.
Interestingly, it's the same word that it writes in English. I
wrote?
Yeah, I wrote.
Knock. Is that like the independent pronoun in Middle Egyptian? Is that like
It
I wrote to
like
you?
yeah, it's I wrote to you.
Okay.
So it's like in Middle Egyptian it would be neck. So it's the N preposition that means two or four, and then the suffix pronoun.
Okay. I wrote to you of Nesheje. So
It's
of these Nesheje. These sounds familiar.
It's from Sejed, from Middle Egyptian Sejed, to recite or relate.
Oh, these words or these okay, about maybe these things.
Exactly. Yep. Both. Jekaz, I have to tell you, it's in order that.
Oh, okay. In order that N Necker.
Let's do Povesh first. So Povesh is like unconsciousness, the unconsciousness, but Povesh is a Coptic idiom that means to forget. So you're like doing the mindlessness, literally, which means like letting something escape from your mind or forgetting something. So Povesh is to forget. And then enne, this is the prefix for the negative third future. The third future expresses a sort of optative meaning, but it also goes with jeka'as as like a fixed like syntactic construction. So jeka'as enne is like so that not, and then ek erpovesh.
Okay, I'm just trying to track in my mind. Okay, so I wrote to you about the things that you forgot.
It's so that you don't forget.
So that you don't forget of Hove.
Hove is thing.
Of the thing, probably Nim is which.
Nim is it's from Neb in Middle Egyptian. Each or every.
Every, yeah. Okay.
And Hove, interestingly, comes from Hav, to send. So it's like a thing that you send someone for, and then that changes over time to be like the matter or the thing, the subject at hand, something like that. So Hovnim is everything.
It sounds like a family reminding each other to do something.
I think it is, yeah. Or it could be a teacher. Because of what comes next, you'll see.
Okay, and okay, and Thai,
In Thai,
and does the T maintain the T sound at the end?
It does, yeah. In Thai T
okay. In Thai T Spo, Nak Eru.
Yeah. So I'll tell you the knock is the same as before. So that one you got.
Okay.
I tisvo. So the I is the same as before. So like I in the past. And then D is give, and svo is sabait. Okay. Sabait in Middle Egyptian, teaching.
Okay, I'm writing to help you not forget about the thing that you've learned.
Disfo is to teach. So it's entai tisfo. This is neti, ir, e, d, sabait. So which I gave teaching
to you. And I don't know that last word.
So era as a pre-pronominal preposition means like toward or against. It's the R of Middle Egyptian, the R preposition.
Oh, okay.
But you give someone teaching toward something, where in English we would say teach someone about something.
About. Oh, that's cool.
So it's the which I taught you about them.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, when you
Okay.
see the connections, it's kind of cool because, I mean, this right here, you can just,
Yeah.
actually, all of this, you can just put it
Yeah.
straight into Middle Egyptian. Neti, iri, di, sabait, nek, bru, I guess, however you would say it,
Yeah.
RW. But yeah, it almost goes totally into perfectly legible Middle Egyptian. So that's kind of cool. Okay,
It
so
is
I'm just going
cool.
to put it all together real quick. Um,
Thank you.
I wrote to you these words so that you not forget everything which I have taught you about. Yeah, it could be a father. It's kind of like fatherly.
Yeah.
It's also kind of didactic.
Right.
Yeah.
Does that che kaas thing, is that translatable as like that you did it or something, or how would that be
Yeah,
resolvable? And
I don't know what the etymology of that is. We could look. Um, actually, we could probably look. We can look in Cherney real quick because it's pretty fast. Let's see if
Oh, and
that.
I had a random question too. Has anybody
Sure.
ever taken like the shipwrecked sailor and translated that into Coptic?
I don't think so, but I mean, it's a great idea.
That'd
Did
be
you all
cool
see the
just for
thing?
practice.
I don't actually know who everyone's Reddit usernames are, so like the person who posted this might be in here, and feel free to pipe up if you did. But someone posted something that's like all of Lambden translated into Demotic, and I was just like, what? It's fantastic.
Really?
Yes,
That would
it's
be cool.
I pinned it. I used my my godlike moderator powers to distinguish it on the
Oh,
subreddit,
wow. I'll
so
have
you
to
should be
look
able to
that up.
find it easily.
Cool.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I was
That's
like, this is
amazing.
amazing. Amazing. Okay, so it comes from Erjed, which is where Jack comes from, and then Ha'as, to say, let it be that. Okay,
Another form of call.
that part makes sense because it's what is it? Ko, ka, ka'a, I think, and K are the four parts of that verb. So the ka'as part makes sense, but then this is a sejim F. So this is actually another preserved sejim F in Coptic, and it's a perspective, and it has the same vowel pattern. So that
Wow.
is actually
Yeah.
That's
quite
cool.
interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Neat.
that's really something. I mean,
And
maybe Jimmy A is right, and there's only one sejim F. I don't know. I'm not going to argue with him about it.
And that was the Cerny dictionary, right?
Yeah,
I think I have
which
that one. Okay.
I put it in the resources on the Discord, but if you don't have it, just shoot me an email. I'll send you a PDF.
I think I have a physical copy. That's cool. Okay.
You
I
want
think
to
I
do
want to
another one,
stop
Peter?
with that. I think I want to stop
Okay.
with that sentence to let my peers who read more fluently read so I can hear them. But yeah, I love it. I think it's so cool.
Well, I'm glad you gave it a shot because I think it went really well. We saw some cool stuff. Whenever you slow down a little bit like that, because it's a lot of new information, you notice other things in the process. So there's really nothing is ever lost, for sure. So I'm glad you did it. Let's see, Randy, are you here?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna give you 5.
Oh, wow. All
Do you
right.
want, you can have more if you want, or less.
Oh, I'll see how I do with 5.
Okay.
All right. Neutala nha husia chekas erepnute sotem e neushlel. They were, let's see, tala. They were, it's like, I know tala is like cause to board or something.
Yeah,
I'm
so the
thinking of the right one.
board, you are thinking of the right one. The board is what we do in English because English doesn't have a great translation for this. Ale is really to go up. It's actually interestingly related to things like Muhammad Ali or Aladdin, all of those terms from Arabic, because it's a loan word from Semitic.
So is it also related to Hebrew Allah with Ayin?
Yes, I think so. My Hebrew's pretty rusty, to be honest. I did take 2 biblical Hebrew classes, so I should know it. I think that's right. I don't want to say for sure, but that's probably right. So yeah, it's that thing that's like to raise up, and then talo is the T causative, so to cause to raise up, or to raise up in a transitive sense, to raise something else up.
Okay, so they raised up many sacrifices in
Yep.
order that God heard their prayers.
Yes, exactly right, except for the word heard. I would say in order that God hear their prayers, and it all depends on how you process this bit of syntax here. Jakas ere penute sotem.
Right, I was trying to remember. I'm looking for the preterite alpha. I'm like, okay, so it's not past tense, or is it? Like I'm trying
It's
to remember.
not.
Like
It's the opposite, but it's kind of hard to see because we haven't talked a lot about this. This is the prenominal prefix for the third future. And recall that the third future goes with jakaas as the way that the construction works. You use jakaas with the third future.
I see. So in order that God will hear, no, so that God hear their prayers. Is that closer?
Yeah, that's right. You definitely want to use the English subjunctive with this one, like in order that God hear, just because it's actually quite similar. So the third future does have this kind of like future optative sense, like would it be that such and such happen? So yeah, with the English subjunctive, you capture a little bit of that nuance really well. So yeah, they were raising a bunch of sacrifices so that God hear their prayers. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Augepe erat em pehegemon chekas ewe tamof edve nentauchope em pedime. They hurried to him. They hurried to the feet of the governor, literally, in order that they tell him about in order to tell them about the things that happened in the village town.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're a bunch of tattletales. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, that's exactly right. Chepe, I don't really see this very often as a verb. You see it much more often in the construction, like henu chepe,
Like
quickly.
Adverbally.
Yeah. But yeah, your translation is correct. That's definitely what it says. They hurried to the feet of the hegemon to I think you said tell him, inform him would also be good. This is D plus emi, so cause that he grok, whatever. Cause it to swallow. Yeah. Okay.
Netin sotem e nshudge in not het. So y'all may hear.
Think Gandalf on the bridge of Khazad-dûm. Oh, wait, Khazad-dûm? Yeah. What does he say?
You shall not. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Sorry.
No, it's good.
So,
you shall not.
So is netin, is that also third future?
It is. It's negative third future, and then it can be used to express a sort of a hortatory meaning, like urging someone to do something, or a an optative type meaning, like would that y'all not hear. I think also maybe obey in this particular case. Would that y'all not obey?
So it's like, may y'all not obey the words of the ignorant?
Yes.
Like the people who are ignorant?
Yeah, so that's exactly right, and that's what it says here. So in Shaje, en natate is the words of and then the ignorant ones. So with a plural thingy, plural article. It's also pretty common in Coptic to see this written for one n. So it could also be the ignorant words with the exact same writing, because they often throw in an extra n for whatever reason. I tell you that now, even though it's not especially helpful, because you will definitely see it in real text a lot. In the Gnostic reading class, we saw it yesterday, where it was like you could read it both ways, but the way it was written didn't exactly make sense. You kind of had to delete an n to make it make sense. So either reading of this is fine. You shall not hear the words of the ignorant ones, or you shall not hear the ignorant words.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think that's
Semewe.
exactly what Gandalf said to the Balrog, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, I wouldn't know the quote actually. I'm not that well versed in Lord of the Rings.
It's a good movie.
Semewe che neunute hen atmune. They think that their gods are immortal.
Yes, nice. Atmu, deathless. Yeah, good. And I think I promised you 5, so I think
You
6
did,
belongs
yes.
to you also. Okay.
Auctal besnal efe chetas eweditatif imperiot hala. They returned themselves both to the house in order that they may, let's see, detative. I can't remember what detative is. That in order that they may
give a hand.
Oh, like help.
Yep, it's the same idiom.
In order that they may help their elderly father.
Yeah, good. Yeah, excellent.
The M-Pes now construction sort of confused me. I thought it was, like the two of them returned. So I was thinking it should say like au kotou enchi pes now or something, I didn't understand the M.
Similar.
It's adverbial. They returned bothly. They returned themselves bothly. Is really the only way to make sense of that. It's literally in the two, which obviously doesn't make any sense in English. But then if you think about how like a lot of these Coptic adverbial constructions use like in the X or in an X. So in the two is adverbial, is saying how they returned, and it's like they returned together, but there are two of them. So they returned bothly.
I'm thinking of the English. I'm thinking of the English term like in tandem, like two things that are happening like simultaneously, and thinking of this like, oh, they returned. I guess like you said, bothly. I mean,
bothly. I mean, I want to submit bothly as a valid English word because I think it's totally intuitive. You won't find it in any dictionary. Unless your dictionary is a piece of crap because it's not a real word, but I think it should be. I think it's good. So yeah, fight me on that. Good question, Dante. It's a little weird. Any other questions about this bunch before we do a new bunch? All right. Well, since Dante is raring to go, you want 5?
Sure.
All right, let's do it. This looks like 5 to me.
Nere and shere em pu hehev o en atsotem. So the children or the sons of the priest were being heedless.
Heedless, nice.
Yeah, I like that as a translation because it sort of works with sotem.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And so nere is the
the thing.
That's just
Whatever.
the sorry, imperfect pre-nominal,
Imperfect.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it. Yeah, and you
Okay.
translate it correctly. They were being, because we also have this all, which is the qualitative of iri,
Right.
but it's like they were done heedless, but of course, you know, idiomatically, that's like they were being heedless, as you said. So yeah, good translation.
Ena nuce vol pesoma en peftako tenau.
Reftako.
Peftako tenau. Yeah.
Refs.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It's okay.
Ref. Taco and tenau. So this is actually the second future, right? And
Yes.
so, but it's just it's a question, so it doesn't need a cleft sentence or anything, right? So
It actually does. It does need a cleft sentence.
well,
in
you have to
English
say
because-
when first, but
yes.
yeah, I don't know. I don't think of that as a cleft sentence. It's just
It's
you put
not.
the
I was
when
just,
at the beginning. Okay.
I was just being
When
argumentative.
will we cast away this destructible body?
Yeah. Good. So yeah, it's the reftako could mean destructive, or it could mean or just destructible. Is destructible a real word? There's
Yeah,
indestructible.
I think so.
But
Yeah,
destructible.
there's indestructible. So
Yeah, frangible. This frangible body.
that's better.
Yeah, it's not. But I got to use those SAT words because I wasted so much time learning them.
I don't think I've ever even heard the word frangible. That's an interesting word. Huh.
It's from frangere, which means to
Angere,
break.
yeah.
Okay.
Which also gives us frail and fragile.
Oh,
Oh,
I see.
yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Nice, Aurelio, coming in with the etymology.
So that last
So,
sentence sounded pretty Gnostic. That's cool.
Yeah, it does actually.
Okay. A peuchoes hon eto utu en nefhemhal kechas eu ine em matoi hun sharof. Okay, so their Lord ordered to the hands of his slaves that they should, or they will bring the soldiers into him.
Yeah, good. Good translation. There's not a lot of reason to fret too much over how to translate jekaas plus third future, because it's not really something we have in English, so it always ends up being a little stilted. But you know, again, what we're working on here, really, we're just using the English translation to check our work. So yeah, totally fine.
En nek chiwe en nenka en nexneu. So y'all shalt not steal the belongings of your brothers.
Yeah, minor correction. Shalt is the second person singular.
Oh, so it should be ye shalt not.
Ye shall not.
It's not shalt not.
Oh.
No, shalt is only for thou.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Sorry,
I see.
Sorry to be
my
such a
old
pedant.
English. Well, I'm glad you know Old English at least. Yeah, so ye shall not steal the goodies of your brother.
Exactly.
Brothers.
Goodies is a good translation for inka. Yeah.
So how?
Excuse me. Sorry. Isn't
Go ahead.
the Coptic is singular, isn't it? In number 10.
Oh yeah, it's you.
Oh, good catch, Rasmus. Sorry about that. I got distracted by being a pedant about the shout. I didn't pay attention to the Coptic.
Well,
yeah,
I messed it up by saying you all shalt. So that was the first problem. Yeah. Thou shalt not.
Shantant. Wait, thou shaltant.
Thou shalt.
Thou shaltant.
Love it.
Anyway,
I mean, we're
moving
wordsmiths here. Yeah.
Au en chiue en teushe ayo auchiem pefsoma evol hem patafos. So they came secretly or stealthily in the night,
Yep.
and they took his body out of the tomb.
Yeah. Interesting. I feel like we're getting some alternative perspective on some very important doctrine here.
Well, yeah, isn't that a conspiracy theory, right, about the origins of Christianity?
Yeah. That's the conspiracy theory, as opposed to the idea that like somebody rose from the dead.
Yeah, right.
You know, fair to each his own. Believe what fulfills you. You know.
Can I go next, just to interject?
Yeah, for sure. I always appreciate foolish volunteers. All right.
I only
Go
had
for
time
it.
to look at the first 16.
Oh, you lucked out. All right.
Other than that, I was pretty confused about this one. Number 12. Tio in Aticium impempto evol in rompe enome in taimine.
Which
So-
part did you have trouble with?
I was pronouncing the arome as arompe for some reason.
Oh, like year. Yeah.
But no, it's man. Okay, so the TO, I wasn't sure what the O was playing there, because so T I was seeing like give to something, but
So
it's
the T is the first person singular prefix. So it's just I, T.
okay.
Like it would go before a verb normally, but it can also go before a qualitative, and O is the qualitative of ire, to do. And O most often means something like be. So I am is what this says. It's not the normal way of saying I am. It's a sort of, it's almost like a circumlocution. It's like an alternative way of saying I am using a first present verb, which Coptic normally does not do. So it's like I am being something.
So like I am powerless, like in the face of, or like before,
before.
Of this sort.
Yeah. So this is a lady who has a type, and she's just like, I am powerless before this sort of man. That's how I read it anyway.
Okay. Then 13, umai wom pe pixon. I got everything except for the umai.
So mai means it's the what's it called? The participium conjunctivum. It's the nominal participle thing from a verb, and it comes from the verb mei, that means to love. So a mai is a lover of whatever. So a mai wom is a yeah.
So his brother just really loves eating.
Yeah, your brother is a lover of eating. We could say, where is she? Ta'imu umai womte, because she is fat and she's asking for. I'm surprised she's not asking for food right now, but I just gave her dinner. So yeah, that's a great word. I've never seen that before. My wom, or I don't remember it anyway. I mean, I've read this book before. Whatever.
Nimpet na mentre et pistis in me. Who is it that bore witness to pistis in me, which I was trying to translate as like loving trust or something like that?
Me, you're on the right track with me, because it does look like the word for love, but in this case, it's the word for truth. So pistis in me is the true faith.
The true faith. Gotcha. Yep.
And then this na, what is this na?
So that would that be like will the future?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
is it that will there?
Yeah,
the future.
exactly. I just wanted to double check. I think you, when you translated aloud last time, I think you used the past. So I just wanted to double check that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Nai matoi henate. No. Nai matoi henatote ne.
Yeah,
These soldiers are fearless.
good. Yeah, atote is a little confusing at first, but if you remember that you can always break a theta. Oops. Wow, what language are we in? You can always break a theta into th, and then you get it. Hote is fear, so atote is fearless. Hold on.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I had forgotten that you could like turn an adjective into a noun like that, because it's really like fearless ones. They are
Right.
fearless ones.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite in Coptic actually. So in English, you can turn an adjective and a noun into a noun. Most times, you can say like the rich and the poor, for example. That those are adjectives being used as nouns, normally for plurals. But then we have the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's always my go-to example because it's one of the best movies ever made. It's fantastic. If you haven't seen that movie, leave class right now to go watch it. It is one of the best movies that has ever been. I'll fight you on that too. And also, they're singular in that case because it's three dudes. It's the good dude, the bad dude, and the ugly dude. So yeah, in Coptic, it tends to work the other way because all adjectives or almost all adjectives are really nouns and they're just being used adjectively. So at any time you can just keep it as a noun. So henat hote means some fearless guys, which is what it means actually by default. You have to put something else to turn it into an adjective, like combine it with a noun with an N or something like that. So yeah.
Okay. Apangelos ainahin rasu entesi ayo aftamoi etva naisache. So the angel came to me in a dream in the night and told me about these things or these words.
Yeah, exactly. This is probably old Joseph. He was always getting like dream messages. So yeah. And GT, I think you said you wanted to do 17 too. Is that correct?
I just said 16, but I can
Oh,
try.
okay. I was just messing with you, but yeah, you should try it.
Okay. Intinu atpe kake. So it's a bit confusing that it starts with an in there.
In tonu is a kind of a fixed phrase. It's literally in the hour, but it's also just like adverbial, like now.
Okay. So in the hour of the the place, or no, of the sky.
Yeah.
I was up May and pay. In that the hour of the sky.
Do you know kake?
Okay. Okay.
Darkness.
Darkness. So in the hour the sky became darkness.
Who was that in the peanut gallery who just shouted darkness? Was that Mustafa?
That's me, yeah.
All right, I'm putting you on the list for a future reading. All right.
Maybe you can skip me because I'm a little tired because of the flying.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, that's fine too. I don't have to call on you. Okay, sorry if I talked over you, GT. What was the translation of this?
In the hour the sky became darkness, or like the sky darkened.
Yes. Yeah, immediately the sky darkened. Okay.
Yeah. I think in the hour kind of works because that at least sounds very biblical. It's referring obviously to
Yeah, it does. And like, I think it's always cool to think about the fact that an hour was the smallest unit of time. We don't really, you kind of think of like minutes and seconds as kind of always being around because they're just so, readily intuitive to us. But for the vast majority of human history, really until the Renaissance, minutes and seconds didn't exist. The hour was the smallest division of time, and they varied. I don't know if we've ever talked about this. I'm sorry if I'm repeating something, but like there were 12 daylight hours and 12 nighttime hours. That's actually an original Egyptian concept, but they would vary between time of year. So in the winter, the daytime hours would be shorter than they would be in the summer. So it wasn't a fixed length of time. It wasn't really until the advent of mechanical clocks that hours became definitively fixed. And now we define them in terms of like 60 minutes and 60 seconds, but that was actually a pretty new idea to divide the hour into minute increments and then second minute increments. Yeah, that's kind of fun. A bit off topic, but I think it's interesting. Okay, where are we?
So, Christian,
Yeah.
the Egyptians always had hours, right? So, like, even in the Book of the Dead and things like that, or like Osiris's night vision or nighttime journeys, right? He would go through the 12 hours of the night, right?
Yes.
Or maybe that was Amun. Yeah. Okay.
It's Re, but it's also Osiris because it's one of those Egyptian religion things where things can be two things at the same time, but also different things at the same time. Because the ancient Egyptian philosophy didn't have the law of the excluded middle. So you can have things that are both something and not something at the same time. So Osiris and Re in his nightly form of the ram who looks like Amun and is also Amun, at least later. And then he goes through the 12 hours, which are also marked by the 12 gates and the 12 other things. There's another one. There's the gates, there's the hours, and then there's another thing. There's 12 something else that goes with them. And yeah, that is based on the 24-hour day also.
Interesting. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Let's see. Aurelio, do you want to do these 5?
If I can take myself off unmute, yes, I will. Okay. Number 18. Nim pentaftal chok evol hempekshone. Who was the one who cured you from this from your disease?
Yeah, good. That's right.
Second past. All I can say about that. Peirome.
Wait, it's not second past. It's not second past, Aurelio.
It's not.
Tough.
Oh, all
It's
right.
relative.
I mean, it's a relative, but yeah. Oh, right. Relative doesn't care. I somehow thought about a relativized second past, but I just realized I made that up. Thank you.
Well, here's a question for you. The relative and the second past and the circumstantial and second present aren't really two different forms. They're the same form. They're formally identical in every Coptic dialect. So they are actually the same thing, and try to make sense out of that. There's an article about it called, I think it's Rankus, it's called Second Tenses Don't Exist. I'll see if I can find it, and you can read that and have some fun with that problem.
That sounds good.
Yeah, so you weren't wrong. It's just, terminology.
Thanks for the call out, though. No, that's good. All right, Peirome, this person, this man, Usain in Sabepe, is a wise physician.
Yes, this man is a wise physician. All right.
Imper erchote pascere. Don't be afraid, my child.
Yeah, nice. It's very literary, also very biblical.
Okay. Avo en teunu af atuonech evol ingship diavolos. And right away, he became invisible, namely the devil.
Yeah.
So the devil became invisible.
Greatest trick he ever pulled, according to Kaiser Soze.
Okay.
Yeah,
so something is great, namely tefmintero. Mintero, thy kingdom, your kingdom. No, his kingdom.
His kingdom? His kingdom, yeah.
His kingdom is great.
This is normally
confused.
written in Saidic like this, but we got it like this.
That's what threw me off for a moment. I was thinking witness, but no, it's kingdom.
Yeah.
All right.
You want another one?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought I had one more, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Now I do.
I have more. Okay.
Hun tref mintgelo, nef ire empemewe an, eneho entef minchere shem. In his old age, nef ire empemewe an, he did not remember the days of his childhood.
Yes. Yeah. And share. I guess childhood. I was thinking of it as youth. Are those the same thing? No. Okay. Childhood. Good. Yeah. All right. And I think, is that, are you satisfied with the number that you had, Aurelio, or do you want more?
It works. It's fine. Let's
Okay.
give some up.
There might be more later. We'll see how it goes. Okay. And next I have Rasmus.
Sure. Could I just ask one question concerning 23?
Yeah.
The shame at the end, is that sort of connected to the Shere, so his small childhood?
Yeah. Shere shame is just a fixed thing at this point because shame actually means small, but interestingly, Sheri in Middle Egyptian means small, and it becomes like substantivized so regularly that it becomes the noun that means child. And then it's put in a, what's the word for that in linguistics when like a complete paradigm is made out of two different sources? Like a defective, it's not defective. It's like
Suppletivism or
suppletion, yes.
Suppletion.
It's in suppletion with Heradu, the plural meaning children, I think, and that's where Shreu, the plural, comes from. Or maybe that's a different word. I don't know. Something going on with that. So yeah, it basically is fixed and it means little boy. So men shed a shame is childhood.
Yeah. Okay, so on to 24.
Sure.
Ben pistewe et to mentre. We did not believe their testimony.
Yeah, good.
Our spere our nok en hotte shope en deumete. They were amazed, and a great fear came into being in their midst.
Yes, very nice translation. I was riveted. That's so very poetic.
Af hon et odo et reumoer pshere senochef pesteko. He commanded them that they bind the son and that they throw him into the prison.
Yeah, excellent. I have to say, Rasmus, your Coptic pronunciation is really, really on point.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
So this one's going to be tough. Nteg umai eo if shwait. You are a lover of vainglory.
Yeah. Is that vainglorious? Is that what
I'm
that
not
means?
entirely sure if that means if that has the exact same sense, but
yeah,
I mean,
not exactly.
It's basically, this is circumstantial. If shwait being vain, being empty,
yeah.
That attaches to eu, I guess.
You're a lover of vainglory. What an awesome sentence that is.
Yeah, that's very nice. Yes. Urmentun bendog ank uremenkeme. So literally, a man of where are you? So that means where are you from? And then the answer is I'm an Egyptian. I'm a man of Egypt.
Yeah, good. This is weird. Urementon. And I don't think anybody would have said that, at least not very often. But yeah, you got it right. That's what I mean. Yeah. Okay, I think that's probably some. Christian, is Christian Paul here?
Yeah, I'm here.
There he is. All right, you've been unusually quiet this whole time.
Yeah, I'm still recovering from my second vaccine, so I'm a little.
Oh, how are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm still a little frail, a little. But
that was I for me it was the first one. It's like a different one that gets you. And I remember like I basically just took a day. I was like, I just don't feel good. So I'm
I
impressed
just have
that you made it.
first vaccine.
oh, nice.
Oh, good.
Do you have any reactions?
Little bit hurt on my left arm.
Yeah, same. I have that still, but should go away soon.
Yeah, it's kind of like a bruise. For me, I felt kind of like it was kind of like a hungover sort of feeling. I just felt like bleh.
That's kind of odd. So I'm lying here with the fan directed on me. I hope it's not too loud in the background.
Yeah, is it hot where you are too? It's like
Oh,
unbelievably hot right now. It's so hot.
This is horrible.
It's horrible. It's off. There's no AC anywhere. I don't know if I should tell y'all this because this is being recorded for the public, but I spent like 2 hours sitting in, I just turned on the cold water in the bathtub and I just sat down in the bathtub and read for a couple of hours sitting in ice cold water. And because it was just, I was like, I can't take it anymore. It's too hot.
Yeah, we had to take like 3 cold showers yesterday.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, it's rough. We'll live.
We'll survive.
The new normal. Just kidding. I hope not.
Yeah. I hope not.
Anyways, 29. Mpes shi kyom kyom e tu nosuf. She was not able to wake him.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you could say raise him too, although that's a little archaic sounding. Either way.
Penhemhal nref erhotene. There's some they are some servants of someone who is scaredy cat.
Yeah.
Is that right?
What a weird sentence. They're scaredy cat. They're scaredy cat servants.
Oh, so it's adjectival. Okay, as in
I think so.
I think Landon said it can also mean respectful.
Oh, that makes much more sense. Yes.
More desirable quality in a servant, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because it's not ureferhote. So it must be like describing the servants.
Yeah, because there's no article. It must be kind of adjectival. And then it's like a fearful person, but I can see how fearful could also be extended to mean like respectful. So yeah. That makes sense.
Shkyom emoy eshaje nemeten mentwayanin. It is not possible for me to speak to y'all in Greek, and that is true.
Yeah, same.
Not yet. I hope soon, but
do you? Okay. I mean, power to you.
Yeah. Ajisnaf jikas efe jo poik in heke and polis. So that is that Ajis is the imperative to say, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or to take.
It could be. Yeah, there is to take too. Aji. Ajitef.
Okay.
I think Ajis is say it though.
Okay. Oh, so say to him so that he will say Jo.
Jau is D plus she. She meaning to go. It's not really used in Saidic, but yeah.
Yeah, to send.
So send. Yeah.
Okay. So essentially, tell him to go so that he will go, or send. He will send bread to the poor of the city.
Yep. That's it.
And I will stay. Oh, Kinachu nemak zikas neumot. I will stay with you so that they won't kill me.
Yep, good. Yeah, we have the missing suffix pronoun here that allows this to be kill me. I will stay with you lest they kill me. Okay, yeah. Sounds like there's kind of some sort of adventure going on there too that I'm now interested in. But Christian, I'll give you a choice. So we just have a few left and everybody's got a chance to go. You can do these last ones or you can decline and I'll do them real quick. Up to you.
Well, I wouldn't deprive anybody else of doing them, but if the other option is you, then I can go ahead and take it.
Yeah, everybody's had a shot, so you get a bonus this time.
I think I was going to hear Christian pronounce full sentences in Coptic. That'd be fun too. I don't think we've had that.
Uatako pep nomos impjois. Inta Maria tamao jpoi en mysterion inat shaje erov. Amen lau en Rome him cosmos deref na ime erov. Are you happy? I can do them.
Yeah, then I'll go ahead and do them.
Okay.
The law of the Lord is indestructible.
Yeah, nice.
Nta Maria tamao poi mysterion and achagerov. So it is in a unspeakable mystery that my mother Maria conceived me.
Yeah, I like that you got the second tense in there. Good. With the cleft sentence. I'm going to do it more literally just in case it wasn't clear to anybody who watches this. So second past, Maria, my mother, begat me in an unspeakable mystery. Yeah. In unutter.
In laun Rome cosmos deref na ime erov. So I mean, I know it means essentially that there isn't any man in the world, in the whole world, that will understand it.
Yep. That sounds very Gnostic. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but can you explain real quick why it's Menlao instead of just Menlao?
In the book, it's a comma after Erov, not a period.
Right.
I don't know if that
Okay.
affects it.
It makes it more clear. It doesn't actually affect it in a real Coptic text because I know Lambdan texts are formatted sensibly. It doesn't affect the interpretation because this tells us that it's definitely just circumstantial.
Oh, okay. So no, there not being any man in the whole world that will understand it. Okay.
Yeah.
So is this a future circumstantial with the e and the na, and then men lao and Rome cosmos is the subject?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bit of a weird sentence, honestly, but it makes sense. No one in the world will ever understand it. So you're just kind of putting that future in there to show that it hasn't happened and it also won't happen. Yeah.
Okay. Au muhte teru in chonet in synagoge eusotemenai. Au muhte teru in chonet. What's chonet again?
Anger.
Okay. Au muhte teru in chonet in synagoge. I'm not completely sure how to translate this. They filled the
Muh can be transitive or intransitive. So they filled or they became filled.
Oh,
all of them.
So they all became filled with an anger in the synagogue as they heard or as they were hearing me. Or
Enai.
To these things.
Yeah. What would it be if they were listening to me? How would you say that in Coptic?
Sotum eroi.
Yeah, exactly. You'd use the other preposition. So yeah.
Okay. And then agis peone je efe roik. Agis peone.
This is the words of Satan.
So say to this stone so that it shall become bread.
Yeah.
So tell the stone to become bread. Oh, he's tempting his powers. Okay. Au ine in unoch in sign etreftalcho mpshere ala mpeftim chom etalchov. They brought a great au ine unoch in sign They brought a great doctor
Yep.
or physician.
Physician.
Yeah, physician, so that he may heal the boy or the child, but he was not able to heal him.
It's a tragic note to end on.
Mm.
That's really unfortunate. So much for great physician. Jeez, way to go, man.
Really not.
It's like my pediatrician that misdiagnosed my heart condition as asthma. Gosh. Yeah. I don't know if I should say too much because I think it becomes like slander, like I shouldn't say her name, but she should definitely lose her medical license. That's an absurd mistake to make. Anyway, okay, so on that thrilling note, we have lesson 28, and I know we're a bit over time, but we finished Alan's Coptic dialects last week, so we actually have a little bit of flex in here. So if you have to leave, that's fine, but if you can say a little bit, we'll talk about lesson 28, the habitual and its negative. So the habitual is what it's called here. It's also very often called the aorist, including, I think, Leighton calls it the aorist, which is, if anyone studied Greek, it's a different meaning from the aorist in Greek. So the aorist in Greek is normally a past tense, but strictly speaking, aorist means the prefix negation and then horizo to delimit or define, as in the word. Like horizon is the limit of the earth, whatever. So aorist literally means like unlimited or not limited form, and that's because this is not in any way limited in time. It's not linked to a specific time. It's a generally true thing. If you read any of Alan's work, especially about like older stages of the language, this is what he describes using the term gnomic, 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 meaning something that's just sort of a general aphoristic type statement, like I like to swim or something like that. It's just generally true. And the forms are, I think, fairly easy. The affirmative is always with the sha prefix, which comes from hair in Middle Egyptian, third HR, if you're curious. So those you can read, and then it's shade, prenominal. And then the negation is mei or meh, and then mere in the prenominal. I can't remember what that comes from etymologically, so sorry about that. I should look it up. So this is the habitual or presens consuetudinus, customary present. So in English, we use the simple present for this, but Coptic has its own specific verb form. So shalmute erof je Johannes, they call him John, or sharet Sophia wochem heit indikaios. Sophia dwells in the heart of the just one. I kind of botched that translation, but it's still correct. Mefse erep, he doesn't drink wine. That's kind of a general thing, like he's a teetotaler. And then, of course, you can add all the normal shit to this that you can with all the other ones. You can put a relative or a circumstantial or imperfect or whatever. You can make it second tense, although that's pretty uncommon. I think you can even have at least theoretically, you can have a circumstantial imperfect aorist, like as he was generally doing those things. Yeah, we got a message in the chat. The normal shiate, like the city. Yes, that's the word I intended. If you heard something else, that's on you. Yes, I meant Sketus in Lower Egypt. And emphasis. This isn't really all that interesting. This is just about a general linguistic phenomenon called fronting. So you use fronting to emphasize things. The independent pronouns naturally serve that purpose really well because they're almost always fronted. And then you can also repeat something that comes later in the sentence. So anok de impefchine emoi. Impefchine emoi by itself would mean he didn't find me. And then anok de is like, but he didn't find me. It's really, really intuitive. I don't think it needs its own section, honestly. But he didn't find. We do that even in English. But his son, they killed him. Yeah, dark. Okay. Intokde intinatinak an impat. But you, I shall not give to you the silver. I will not give the money to you, with emphasis on you. Yeah, that's all good. I mean, it is, he introduces is heete, or just is, which means behold. This is isu in Middle Egyptian, or just is. And of course, like in all ancient languages, you can always use it to just emphasize, or just to say something is here. One of my favorite things from my Hebrew class actually was when we were reading from the book of Exodus, and there's the line in Hebrew is like, and the Lord said, Moses, Moses, and Moses said, behold me. And yeah, I don't know why that cracks me up so much. It just seems like such a funny response, behold me. But really that means like, here I am. And that's the way it's normally translated. But it literally says, behold me. And I think that's super fun. Then we get some more of these like emphasizing or focalizing particles. They're always pre-pronominal. So mawa'a, so anok mawa'at, you have to put a suffix pronoun on it always, means I, myself. Literally this comes from wati, or some other form of the verb wai, that means to, it's literally the word one as a verb, but then it's the stative of that, and it means something like to be alone. So anok imawat is like I all by myself. And so you can also sometimes see it as I alone, with the full meaning of that, of like me being alone, not with someone else, or it can just be used to emphasize like I myself. Naf mawa'af, hero mawa'af, the king himself. And then ho'o, this actually comes from, I think it comes from the word ha'u, that means like limbs or body. But then it becomes another way of saying myself. So entok de ho'ok, pashere senamute erok, je prophetes impet jose. So you yourself, my son, they will call you the prophet of the high, of the most high, that which is most high. Good. So this entok ho'ok is like you yourself. It can also be used to say also. This is the most common way in Coptic of saying also. But you also, my son, they will call the prophet of the Most High. Could be the meaning of that. You'll have to see it in context to see a place where that makes sense. Is Elisabeth tu sunganes entos ho'os on as o inushere intesment hello. So behold, Elizabeth, your relative, speaking to a woman, presumably to Maria, behold, Elizabeth, your relative, she herself also has conceived a son in her old age. And notice that meant hello is with the feminine, so it's her old lady, in her old ladiness. That's fun. It can also mean however. Yeah, you'll see it. Eminemo, like as in eminimof, means it's like self-referential. So pa ei eminimoi, my own house, empeftime eminimof, in his city, his own. So in his own city. Each other, this one is always preceded by the plural definite article and some kind of possessive article with the suffix pronoun. So we'll see examples of that. Ereu itself is from the Middle Egyptian iri, that means companion, and ereu is the plural of that. It has the u of the standard plural ending. So it's like companions. And then when you put it in a sentence, an mishe men nenereu. So we walked literally with our companions, but then this just becomes idiomatic, meaning together. Yeah. Neoshaje men Neoshaje men newereu. Their words with each other. Oh, they were talking with each other. Oh, great. I should do my homework better. The karome, the other man or the man also. We're just getting a bunch of these things that basically mean the thing itself or also. And I think he's put them all in there because they have this sort of like emphasizing quality that they can use when they need it. And then we have all of these body parts that can go with suffix pronouns. You've seen them all already in the compound prepositions like for instance, Joe or Joj, that means head. You can say Jof, his head. And you can say Ejof, literally to his head, but we've seen it for a very long time, meaning upon him or to the top of him. So these should all be relatively familiar. It's an interesting thing to note that these are almost all body parts. And that's because in Late Egyptian, when the possessive article took over as the way of expressing possession, so you say, instead of Yoti, my father, I'm gonna mute, someone's making some rustly business. I don't know who it is, can't find you. Someone quickly muted before I could spot them, good call. I mean, not that I would be mean to you or anything, but yeah, quick thinking. Okay, so these are almost all body parts because in Middle Egyptian, you'll see them where it's like the body part plus the suffix pronoun, or other things like iti, my father, is like yot, my father. Most nouns end up using the possessive article. So instead of iti, you say payot, my father, the of me father. That doesn't take over with body parts or with inalienable nouns. So it's mostly body parts because you kind of can't be separated from your body parts and still possess them in the normal sense. And also other things like name, for example, the word ran also has a pre-pronominal rin or rint. So I can say like rint, my name, theoretically, because it's inalienable. And church, why? You're okay. Okay, so all these things, Jo, Ya, Ro, Ta'ot, almost all of these you have seen in some kind of preposition, except for Ya. I don't think we've seen that yet, but it also occurs in various idioms like tunyatef, which means to inform someone of something, but it literally means cause his eye to open. Tunyatef evol is
Cool that the old Irid is still around. So sorry to jump in.
No, that's great. Yeah, that is. Thanks for pointing that out. So that's the Iret word of Middle Egyptian, meaning eye, and then it even keeps its little feminine T. Still loses the R. Loses the R because it would be like Yaret, Yari or something, Yara, and then or Yaretef, and then the R is syllable.
Right, it should be Yatef, shouldn't it? Cool.
The R is syllable final, so it drops and you get Yatef. So yeah, that's good stuff. All of these are actually their normal Middle Egyptian words, with probably something very close to their Middle Egyptian vocalization, except for the vowel shift. So the word for hand, like his hand, was probably dartef or something like that. But then we get dotef. Yeah. So the R is lost, it becomes a glottal stop, and then the vowel changes to an O. They're pretty close. And then that's pretty much it for this lesson. We have some vocab, which includes the body parts, because you'll see those in compounds. Also, maybe take a glance at the various compounds that they appear in, just to familiarize yourself so they're not bewildering when you see them for the first time. And then some exercises. So are there any questions about lesson 28? It's kind of a big one.
Can't believe we're almost done.
We're almost done, you guys. Yeah. I mean, we better be, because Late Egyptian is starting in just 2 months. So yeah. Okay. Well, thank you all for coming. I hope you have a great weekend, great rest of your weekend, and I will just see you all next week.
Thank you. Keep cool.
See you then. Bye-bye.
Very cool. Thank you.